Hi, hello, hi. It looks like everything is working, which is lovely. The last time I did this, it was not nearly so smooth. Today is going to be pretty chill, mostly just working away at some editing and seeing how far we get. The last time I did this, I was able to get through the whole episode, which would be amazing if I could do that again. That was kind of cracked, and I'm not sure if I can recreate that. We'll see. We could just be lucky. Nice big stretch to start before we hunker down. The deal will be 1 hour work time and then have a short break in between. Well, let's get started. Hey, hi Chaos, how are you doing tonight? Or this morning? It's very early for you. I know you were streaming today, how did that go? Wait, no way, really? Damn, that must have been a long one. It was a big collab stream, right? You had like a few people in? I kind of saw a peek of it, but just didn't have time today to jump in. Whoa! 8 hours of Helldivers is intense. Aww. I mean, were you guys... I'm presuming from the fact that you were able to play for 8 hours that you were quite successful with extraction missions and the like. What were you fighting today? Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So you were starting with like the it's not Lethal Company, it's the other one, isn't it? I've forgotten the name of it, but I know what game you were playing. I've seen it before. Also, apologies, you cannot see this on screen, but I'm actually currently working through a denoise filter for this audio back here. Content warning, that's what it was. Yeah, content warning, then peak. Good choices. Gonna see how this goes because I never make up my mind on whether or not I want to do a denoise then a declip or whether I want to do a declip then a denoise. I prefer declipping before the denoise because it's working with the most. And if you're doing any kind of audio recovery from laughter or sudden spikes, just like handing over as much raw data as possible. Worst case, I can always go back to the original plonk it back into the edit and fix it from there. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time. And damn, 8 hours is nothing to sneeze at. Are you doing okay? Have you had food? Shuffle, everything is locked, so let's hi, Faye. Oh, Fane? Is that preferred? Sorry, I should really move that chat up here so I can see it on the big screen. Why am I looking, squinting down at the tiny screen to the side? Oh, thank you, Chaos. Thank you, Chaos. That's really sweet of you. You didn't have to do that. Oh, good to know. Thank you, Faye. Well, I appreciate the raid nonetheless. Hi, hello. We're just doing a nice little chill stream, a nice little body doubling, if you will. Going to work on some editing here. If you have something else that you need to work on at the same time, feel free to pull that out and work on timers with me. I find it very helpful for productivity. So if you struggle with that, jump on it. Something just fell in my office. Don't worry about that though. A poncho, you say? I assume through crochet, yeah? It's always crochet. God damn it, I need to change that keybind. I keep accidentally hitting it. Girl, you would not believe. What did I just say? Oh, Faye, I'm so sorry to hear that. It, like, God, it just comes and goes when you do art, doesn't it? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I love working on art, but there are just some goddamn days where it's not happening. I need to check. Where have I put that keybind on the mouse so that I can just... Have I not put it on the mouse? Oh, sorry, distracted. My sweet old lady has stirred and I'm just making sure she's okay and tended to. Hi, ma'am. You okay? Yeah, she just had to do a big stretch in her pram. But yeah, I completely understand the feeling of just, oh, I want to do this thing. Why can't I? Where is the go juice? Where did it go? I'd like to do it now, please. Thank you. I actually had a little bit of that earlier today. It's partly why I hadn't committed to what kind of stream this was going to be, whether it was going to be editing or whether it was going to be art. And when I sat in front of my PC and did not manage to muster any motivation for art, I was like, okay, editing it is. I can do editing. We can take it nice and slow. Whatever progress is good progress, that kind of a deal. Gosh. Wish it wouldn't though, like every single time, but I think I've just learnt to be more patient with myself during those kinds of moments. I can't bully myself into being motivated. That's something I've learnt after many years of trying and failing. Okay, yeah, I can already see a bit of a problem with this is problem audio because the mic was set up wrong. It gets fixed, but I'm wondering the best way to do this. I might actually add another track here. Oh, Faye, that would be such a full plate. Oh gosh, and I don't know about you, but like for me, it hits this inflection point where it's like, I need to relax. How am I gonna relax? I really want to draw. Drawing helps me relax. Oh no, I can't draw. So how am I gonna relax? And I get a little in my head about it sometimes, because there are some days where it is like perfectly primed. I've had food, I've had water, I'm well rested, I'm in front of my computer, tablets out, ready to go. I've got ideas, and the hand cannot muster anything. And like that's usually a sign of like, okay, you can't do art today, you can't be productive, you need to pivot, and you need to find something else that's chill and easy. Give that a go. But I'm so bitterly holding on to but I want to do art. That was the thing I wanted to do today. Why can't I do it? So frustrating. Right, for this to work, I need that to be in slip mode. And we're going to pivot all of the dialogue that needs re-recording down. Oh, bless. 11 is that age where it's like, okay, I can at least leave you alone for a hot minute and it's not going to be the end of days. And also, how blessed to have such a good kid. Good on you. You're doing something right. All right, I'm really gonna chop and screw this now. And that's just where the magic of editing comes in, doesn't it, loves? It's just how we do. All right, I think this just works better. Let me... Yeah, all right, we're gonna do that. Well, if that's the one thing I've learned, Faye, it's that like communication skills cannot come early enough. You know what I mean? Like there is only a net positive to fostering good communication and providing frameworks of what good communication looks like. Just oof, excellent work on your part. And it is work. Like that's the other thing. People get it kind of twisted that communication is just intuited and just like magically come upon, and it's like, nope, it is work. It is effort, and it is time, and it is teaching, and it is patience, because sometimes the first communication method doesn't work and you got to workshop a new one. Good on you, genuinely, because oof, it's hard work and often unappreciated, but you're doing very, very well for yourself. And I hope that you do have some time coming up for yourself where you can actually sit down, do some art, have some unwind, all of that. You got to find it in the pockets that you can. But the hard lesson I'm learning is you can't literally force yourself into relaxing. That's kind of antithetical to how it all works. Oh my gosh, Faye, what timing, because I am currently researching putting the household on Linux. Both my partner and I are just incredibly over Windows, and we both require the same sort of application. So when I said, hey, I'm looking at Linux, I'm making the move mid-year, my partner was like, hey, can we share notes? Can you can you help me move over to Linux? And this is relevant, I promise. But as part of that, naturally, it's a rabbit hole. You get down into the whole like, okay, well, if I'm going to port over to Linux, what applications do I move over? Yada da 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 da. And then in researching it, I was like, oh, I could set up a little home server so that we could have all of our movies, music, and everything on the one thing that our computers can connect to. Oh, I could have a home server. That means I could host servers. And then I came to my partner and was like, hey, can we have a dedicated Minecraft server, please? My partner was like, yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that, actually. So very much looking forward to that. That's kind of like the carrot on the stick at the end of it all, where it's just like, once I get through all the trouble, we're going to have a Minecraft server that we can play on whenever. Oh my gosh, no way. Oh, that is so blessed. Yeah, I know it's definitely a little bit the recency bias, because like as of this year, I basically put my foot down and was like, okay, I'm going to commit to learning Linux, and I'm going to port over everything that I can, and going to start looking at alternative softwares, yada yada. And as part of that, I am hearing about so many people who are either on Linux or moving to Linux. I caught up with two mates from an old industry I used to work in, and would you believe, something's in the air, because I floated the, oh yeah, we'll be moving our systems over, and immediately it was just, oh my god, I already have, here's what I did, blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh my gosh. I'm actually kind of lucky that I've got a couple people who've already kind of road tested it because I have so many questions, but we're going to figure it out one little broken piece at a time. Oh, it's definitely such a it's such a deep pool to get into when it comes to computers as well, because it's like, okay, well, are you into the hardware or are you into the software? And depending on which one of those you were into, it's like, okay, well then are you a programmer or do you fall into one of the other categories? And while a lot of the skills are transferable between all those different roles, it's like, yeah, but that's nothing I went to school for. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just an artist trying to figure it out, all right? I think the one thing that really surprised me starting to research this was just how much I would get into technology again. I'm so genuinely excited to try new things instead of just having the headache of like, oh, I need to install this thing. Oh my God, is it going to work? Do I have to like find a bunch of different websites that'll tell me how to make this work? And I know that's paradoxical coming from someone who's moving over to Linux, because the vibe a lot of people have of Linux is that's the Linux experience. But I think the difference here is that like I'm walking into a room of like-minded people who are all very excited to workshop the solution, rather than feeling like I'm bothering people for answers that I can't possibly find myself and they're getting annoyed at me that I'm asking. Not to say all Windows users are like that, of course. It's just a vibe. Chaos, I don't know how you sent nothing in chat, but I did see the little heart, so thank you. On my little chat window, it's just nothing. Oh, why would... Hold up. Why does YouTube let you send that? That doesn't make any sense. I saw a bunch of hearts come through, so like I guess it was working. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh my gosh. I do 100% believe you, Faye. But I also am in love with the like, my uncle works at Nintendo, and you can literally say, my dad works at Microsoft. Oh my gosh. That's, I totally get the, I totally get what that does though, because my dad was an engineer. I don't think he does that anymore. But as part of being an engineer and being very into computers, I got a lot of really intense security training is the best way I could put it. Like OPSEC work was kind of taught to me. A lot of like, never use your real name, and if you want to post about something, don't post about it right away, hold on to it for like a month and then post about it. Like my dad was the first person to be like, hey, you can have a Facebook account if you want. If we ever go on holiday, do not post it the same day, because that's just broadcasting to people that your home is empty. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Like obviously as a child, I'm not thinking about the wider world and the wider context, and my dad was one of the first to be like, hey, you need to think about this if you're going to interact with the internet, because it's a huge place full of all types. So, you know, for better or for worse, I got a little bit of that like reality check. I just need to do a sanity check. At what point does the microphone get fixed? Oh my god, okay, it does get fixed. Okay. Yeah, alright. I found the point when it gets fixed. I'm not in love with the fact that it takes this long. But you guess who I have to blame for that? That's me. I was the one that set it up, but I set it up wrong. Okay, how long have I got? All right, just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. I can edit that down and I can single out the stuff that needs to be re-recorded. Oh my god, you also did... Faye, seriously, I also had the family with shared WoW accounts. I have older and younger siblings, and was also on WoW quite young. That total same hat. Like, yeah, we got the whole like, you do not talk to anyone on here. If you're gonna play, you're gonna play with like a sibling, like that sort of stuff. So damn funny. I always found it very odd because like I wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very good at playing WoW at all. I liked playing Druid because Druid meant you could turn into other things, which I thought was cool. And that was about the extent of my understanding of the game. I was much more of a Sims kid. Oldest of 4 and the smallest. How did that work out? Criminal. You should get some kind of toll tax where you just like, your siblings have to gift you height. You've put in the yards, you should absolutely get that height. But no, I'm smack bang in the middle, so. Where do I land on the height chart? I think am I the shortest? Oh my god, I haven't had to think about this. I think I'm the shortest. No. I think I might be. Oh no. I think I'm the shortest because the last time I caught up with my younger siblings, bean sprouts, they just to the skies, which is criminal. I want to be tall. Why am I always surrounded by like 6 foot tall people? And that's the thing. I'm not short for like for Australians. For Australians, I am smack bang average height, but I'm surrounded by people who are minimum 6 feet tall. So I look short, and it's like, no, I'm not. You guys are above the average. That's not the same. Chaos, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A Fury Warrior is great. That's what my sibling was. One of my siblings was a Fury Warrior and loved it to bits. Oh, Faye. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that's like clinically short at that point. No, I think, gosh, where am I? I'm somewhere between... Where am I? Oh my gosh. I haven't had to measure since I got my license updated, I don't think. The last time I checked, I think I was around 5'7", I want to say. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure 5'7". The average here is like 5'6" to 5'8". Oh my gosh, Chaos. I'm the same height as Bernie? That's crazy. You'll never catch me without a boot with some kind of inch or two, though. So when I meet people, I tend to trick it. I tend to be a little bit taller. But again, I have to. I can't not, because I'm surrounded by 6 foot tall people. Oh my gosh. I hope you don't mind me saying, Faye, but like, I think it's kind of adorable that your kid's gonna be taller than you and so young. I think that's adorable. I think that's so, so cute. But also, speaking as someone who's been outgrown by my entire immediate family and also has a partner who's 6 feet tall, you know, I get that some days it's not fun. Some days it'd be nice to be a little taller. Oh, Chaos is a good day when he can stand with his back straight. Ugh, bless him. And I don't say that sardonically to mock him. I say that as someone who also has back issues, because I am also like 5'7", 5'8" on a good day. You get it, Faye. You get it. Oh, of course, Chaos. He needs to hang upside down like a bat from those goddamn contraptions they have. You know the ones I'm talking about, where they like strap the ankles in and it's meant to decompress your spine and make you taller? And like, if you want to, I guess you can work out with them and stuff like that. I think the main purpose is to decompress though, because it flips you upside down, so gravity's pulling and stretching out your spine. Yeah, like, Faye, I presume you suffer from the same artist shrimp that I do. In fact, even editing right now, I have to be careful not to completely cave in, and I'm constantly resetting my posture. Thank goodness I have a sit-stand desk, because some days when I feel myself getting lazy, I literally just like bump the desk up an inch or two, and it forces me to sit up more so that my arms can sit on my desk correctly, if that makes sense. Oh, true chaos, because of like his specific situation. Yeah, you're right. They probably wouldn't recommend that one for him, would they? It's so comfy. That's the problem. Where? There it is. Ooh, that is a nasty click. Let's get rid of that. Oh boy, this is gonna be oh my god, this is gonna be such a trial because we do quite a bit of cross-talking here. Yeesh. Okay. We're almost at the end though. We're almost there. But yeah, that's a bit of cross-talking. I can make it work though. Don't mind me, I'm also vibing out to Crystalline because this is one of my favorite midnight tracks. Oh yeah, I will always plug this because I think the Midnight is really cool. They are very fine with streamers playing any of their music on stream. Like I always, for editing streams, will use this, and naturally the content ID will be like, hey, this is this song by the Midnight, but there's never a claim ever made on the account. They made like announcements all across their socials being like, hey, just go for it. They're really, really cool. I think they frequently tour the US. Not sure about Canada. I am based in Australia, so I don't follow their tour dates because they don't come here, which is totally understandable. But they usually take out like a couple set piece artists, or they'll like feature artists on the night. And the brass, oh my god, I am such a sucker for like really, really good saxophones and trumpets and trombones. I love instruments. I love music. Yeah, that's the other thing, Faye. To follow tour dates would imply the available income to go. And right now I do not have that. I am saving for an apartment with my partner. We might do a show if it's a really like good one and we're specifically like justifying it through the whole like, okay, this will be like the anniversary gift, okay? We're not going to get each other anything, we're just going to go to this. That's where we're at right now. Thank you, Faye. Thank you. So far, we're hitting our savings goals for this year. And pending no unmitigated disasters or surprises this year, this time next year, fingers crossed, we will be able to actually talk to brokers and start looking on the market. Which, like, can't come soon enough because we've got the classic, like, when are y'all getting married? And I think it's very sweet and it's very lovely that my mother-in-law loves us as a couple, as an item so much. But I am kind of like, do you know how much weddings cost? Like, listen, I know we can't always keep saying this, but like, in this economy, like, really? Oh my gosh, the point where the microphone is actually set up correctly. Night and day difference. Ah. Do I do a pickup for that later? Okay. No, I did not. I did not pick that up. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put in 2 notes here. Ah, I see, Faye. I see. We're also in the camp of like, how to put this? We are very straight presenting in our current dynamic, which will be changing because I will be starting tea soon. And so we're kind of on this weird fringe of like, how soon do we need to have the wedding for everyone to be cool about this? Because they're going to assume we're quotation marks, just a straight couple. Or is everyone going to be real cool about this and we can just like roll into it, no worries? We're gonna feel that out as we go. But as far as I'm concerned, my partner's fully on board and so am I. And so I'm like, well, at the end of the day, it's our lives together. So, oh, Faye, that's actually so beautiful. I'm so happy for you both. Like, that is so beautiful. Good on you guys. Like, I really appreciate, I know this isn't strictly a modern phenomena. I think that gets maybe a little bit confused because we've had things like lavender weddings and the like for ages, but I really truly appreciate when people figure out themselves, and all it does is it shifts the dynamic, but at the end of the day, like, you're still in community with each other and you can still be there to support each other. That is just, 10 out of 10 for you guys. Faye, you're kind of crushing it. Like, I love your vibe. You're 10 out of 10. Yeah, and that's like, it's kind of the thing with life, is you are just going to get those curveballs, and it's really just about, like I often say to people, it's less so about the situation and more so about how everyone handles the situation. That is really what determines like the character and kind of person that you're in the moment with. Oh yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of intuited that, but like completely get what you're saying. And also, good on your co-parent. I'm glad that he's in a place where he can feel comfortable to share that with people as well. Aww, yay. I love hearing queer people be so happy. I also, again, I absolutely, what was it that, I had an old coworker, what did she used to say? Oh my God, she used to say froth whenever like she loved something or just thought something was amazing. She would just be like, oh my God, froth. And that's coming back into my vocabulary. I don't know where that's come from, but it's coming back in a big way. But like, genuinely, hearing queer people have these dynamics sorted and just working through these kinds of circumstances through good comms and stuff like that. Ugh, froth. 10 out of 10. Just, amazing. Love, love, love it. Isn't it just like, it is one of those things where so she introduced, oh my god, froth to me, which I think is 10 out of 10. And then I introduced, oh, that's mint to her. Like I was throwing around that's mint or that's so mint a lot at the time. And so we just mutually exchanged. We just mutually exchanged that. She started calling things mint and I started froth. And this is definitely a me-ism, but I literally cannot say froth without immediately doing the like hand gesture. Like we're talking like the limp wrist. Just, oh, froth, like the motion. It has to be thrown in there too. Like if something is mint, I would often use that in the context of it's more so pulling from like the gold standard. Like if something was mint, it's excellent quality or it's amazing. That's often how I would use it colloquially. But also it helps that I just like mint flavors, so it's not that odd for me to say. Definitely bumped that somewhere. That's it. That's where I bumped it. I can fix that, okay. Yeah, I can smooth that out. I can have that be just one flow. Oh, I love being able to do that. One of my favorite things with editing is just if I hear someone hiccup on a word, but I know what they were going for, just like cutting out that little hiccup, having it flow seamlessly. Perfect. Oh my gosh, I sound incredibly American in this recording. I can just, I don't know where it's come from, but I can hear that I'm pushing R's especially hard. Oof. I just used the term airy and it's just oof. guys, it's such a problem because I'm not even American. It's it's such a problem. Oh my gosh. It's just, it's impossible not to notice when I'm listening back to stuff. But, well, nothing to be done about it now. It's just how I sound sometimes. Oh dear. My mouse is not working, but all my shortcuts are on there. It is break time. Okay, I'm gonna take a second here to stretch. Actually, I'm also gonna change my desk to standing mode. Okay. Oh, sorry about the microphone noise. Okay. I can tell that I haven't pulled something, but I definitely need to stretch before going to sleep because I think just during boxing, I've definitely bothered something in my back. Something is not liking my stretches today. I think I'm gonna have to politely push through that. Kind of warm the muscle back up, remind it that it's still okay. Oh, which is very aptly timed. It is break time, so if you need to move your body in just a small way, or if you need to get some water or some food, depending on your time zone, you should definitely try that. I'm now standing, so we're going to give the back a little stretch, decompress a little bit from sitting. Yeah, it sounds bad, Faye, but I promise I'm not pushing myself too hard. I have a physio that I go to the moment that anything's like, hey, this isn't working like it's supposed to. Which thankfully I've not had to go back to in a while, so I'm pretty confident this was just I pushed myself too hard during a boxing class, and if I take it easy for the next week, it'll recoup on its own. Okay. Water is good, actually. Who knew? I am going to step away for a second and actually refill my water bottle because water is that good. So, BRB. Nice. Enjoy your cheesecake, Faye, and also happy birthday for yesterday. I hope you had a lovely birthday. At the very least, you got cheesecake, which is really good. Cheesecake is one of my partner's favorites. Strawberry cheesecake, to be specific. Ooh, what's actually a really good stretch right now for me is what I can only really describe as if you've done Cobra in yoga. It's kind of like that, but standing, which isn't explaining it very well, but you basically place one leg or like 1 foot back to create a slight curve for the posterior chain, and then you lean back up at the top and it creates sort of like a crescent shape. That's really stretching out the lower back quite nicely. Ugh, Faye, that sounds like a peak birthday, to be honest. If I'm lucky, I should have some friends over visiting during my birthday this year. which will be great. I'm really looking forward to it. They'll either be here on my birthday or a little bit earlier. Either way, no complaints. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, I'm just going to do a little bit more of this stretch here just to wake up the lower back a little bit. And then we'll get back into it. I am curious though, are you doing modded Minecraft or just plain? Nothing wrong with plain, by the way. There's actually plenty going on in there. I haven't played in so long. There's whole like biomes that I have not explored yet. Okay. Nice. Nice little reverse stretch as well. With that, let's put that timer back on. Let's pop the chat up here so I can see it again. Let's get into it. Oh, bless. I have been really enamored with I saw a streamer play with the Create mod pack, which, listen, when I speak of mod packs, I'm not proficient. I am not learned in this area. So I say something like Create, which I think is one of the most bog standard, like, the way my partner described it is Create feels like a DLC made for Minecraft. It's so well integrated and designed. And is therefore also very popular. But the Create mod pack, and also there is a mod that's about building settlements and stuff like that. I think that's also a really cute idea. Just the idea of being able to create townships in biomes and stuff. I'm quite taken by that. I might give that a go. If I can get it working. I'm really hoping I can get a modded hosted game set up, because that would be really fun. Oh, mods absolutely can get crazy. I've definitely seen, there's a couple of folks who have done the, you know, oh, my friends pick out a mod for me to play, or like I'm doing a, there was one by, oh, pardon me, I've totally blanked on the name. There's one by Astral Spiff where his whole thing is just like, I'm playing through horror Minecraft, but I take a mod off every time I die. And one of the mods on there, granted, it's horror mods, they're meant to be unnerving, but one that like absolutely got under my skin was it was like a bugs and spiders one. Oh, nasty work. Which is to say, the mod creators did a phenomenal job. 10 out of 10 job. Excellent effort. Like, truly, how you were able to recreate spiders in Minecraft beyond, like, you know, you got the Minecraft spider, nice modest lad, and then you've got like, oh, they did like it wasn't a trapdoor spider, but it was similar to that, where in the mod it's this little hole in the ground. If you get too close, it jumps out at you, and I was like, ugh, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. I would perish. I just, oh, no. I can't. Like, I can barely play Grounded without the spider filter, because, like, Spiders in games genuinely make my fingers like go numb. Like I get so panicked. I hate them so much. So needless to say, excellent work by the mod creators. I don't want it anywhere near me though. Oh, bless. It's always between that like 9 to 14 years of age, I find. That's when it's like getting into like the Ben Drowned or the Herobrine, like the internet copypasta, creepypasta stuff. And oh, like I could never. I was certainly not that brave as a kid at all. And that has not changed into adulthood. But yeah, no, like Chaos, I can't do spiders. And like Faye, like if I ever have a kid in the future, which we'll see what happens. I'm actually super duper open to fostering and adopting because I will never have a kid, to be clear. But if my kid was like, I'm really into creepypasta, I'd be like, that's great. Go talk to dad too. I can't do this. Like I can't. I don't think I could. Like, no way. That's the thing. Oh, you know what? I'm in that really annoying like middle part of, I think horror as a genre and what it can do for storytelling is amazing. Like I have friends who are super into horror movies and they will like explain the plot or like the thematics of a horror movie. And like my brain is tickled by it and I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. I can totally visualize how like this acts as a really good visual motif for this kind of emotional sentiment or da-da-da-da-da. But like, I could not sit through that movie. There is no way I could sit through that movie. So heavens fucking help me if I end up with a kid who's into horror, because it's like, I want to encourage this. I want to foster your hobbies and your interests. Please don't ask me to watch them with you. I can't. Like, oh, is my studio assistant coming back in? Thank you. Sorry, just a moment. My old lady is back in the office. She stepped out during the break and, well, now she's decided she wants to be back in here in her pram. So 2 moments. There we go. She's back in her pram now. I'm very fortunate. I'm fairly confident Kaylin has just a little bit more of a tolerance for it. So, you know, might have to sub in for some of that actually. I should be able to shrink that down, I think. Yeah. Let's fix that. Sorry, this is just a really cute hiccup there, and it's adorable. clip I need to get rid of. What's going on there? I'm sure I have a tool for that. Let's... No, not declip. What am I after? Declick? Yeah, I'm after declick. Oh, that's perfect. Okay.
Should have known at the end of summer, the innocence fades and the weak become stronger. Should have known at the end of summer, I'd be lost without you.
Whoops. Let's move that on over to slip so that'll actually slide down there. Cool. That's going to the end with a nice little blooper. Please. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay. I think that is another episode done. I mean, this one was a little bit shorter, but you know, not terribly so. All right, let's see if we can. Oop. Let's do that without the carry-on. Thank you. Okay. Can we get this to play nice? Not really. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so we need to trim a little bit off this front here and have it align this way. Let's do that. Not solo it anymore. Oops. This has drifted. Yeah, did I accidentally drift that earlier? Yeah, I definitely did. Oh no. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, let's get that back into spot and just start finagling it, why don't we? So that one, pull that back a little bit. And then we shuffle this one into place. Cool. Alrighty. That's that one done, it seems like. What I might do is well, not done, because needs a little re-record, as does happen sometimes. But what I will double check is that this is seamless. You know what? It's not the most seamless, but it's not the most obnoxious either. Oops. Nope. All right, let's roll it back. Yeah, it kind of works. It's masked enough that it's not a huge deal. double check. How is that done in other episodes? I'm sure I can just open another one and see what the editing is like. Is it quite close? Yeah, it's like crazy close. Okay, then yeah, I will fix that. Don't save, there's nothing to save there. Jump back in here. Nope. We want that on slip. You know what? There we go. That's much nicer. Cool. Alrighty. That's well, gosh, I did not expect to get that fully done. I mean, there's this whole bit at the start. I can't really do anything to recover that. It's pretty cooked, chat. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Oh, we want that back on slip. There we go. Oh, chaos. What's going on? Can't sleep because your brain's still active, or can't sleep because you can't relax? What's going on? Oh, yeah, that will 100% do you in. Jeez, what do I do when that happens? Suffer mostly, but that's not helpful. I mean, I as someone with insomnia, I do ascribe to the lying down and resting your body is still a recuperation state versus like intentionally staying up. But I presume that's not your situation. Like, you know. Oh, it's 5 a.m. for you, Faye. Damn. Oh, really? You're down to 1 meal because of the sleep schedule. I usually don't go less than 2, but I kind of have the luxury of just having that weird sort of like brunchy, lunchy time and then a dinner. Mind you, if you're sleeping through a lot of that, then yeah, dinner would be the only that you would get, and then you would just go back to sleep, wouldn't you? Well, I mean, that sounds like a good plan. I gotta remember now that it's no longer daylight savings that there's the I'm gonna say 4 hours difference. It's obviously like 16 or whatever it is, but because it is well and truly nighttime for me. it is late. It is 10:30 here, but I am seemingly done with this, which I keep doing this thing where I forget that I have experience editing audio, and so I can do it pretty efficiently on stream. This is why I do body doubling streams, because my brain gets into a tizzy thinking this is going to take forever, and it puts it off, and then I actually sit down and it's like, oh, it's done in 2 hours. Whoops, like the second timer hasn't even finished and this is done. Like we're at the point of I just need to re-record these little bits, which now I'm just fiddling. Now I'm just, for the luxury of recording, I'm making them loud enough that they're easy to hear. That's that. I used to do the lot of small meals, and then I think just the way that my schedule has stabilized out in this new state, it's just like, yep, it's consistently 2 meals, done skis. I am trying to make a habit of making more snacks and smaller meals available in the house, because I'm trying to cut back on caffeinated stuff, mostly soda for me, because you know, it just would generally be good for me if I did that. Oh, well, hello phone. That is my, like, I have a little alarm that tells me I should get ready for bed soon, but still. Oh, chaos. That doesn't sound any good. I was just about to say I'm working on keeping more small meals and snacks readily available because of cutting caffeine out. So because I'm cutting that out, I no longer have a hunger suppressant, and I don't want to make poor food choices just because I'm leaving myself to get to a state where I am like ravenous. That's the rough thing about trying to balance out the sleep versus food ratio. I have gotten to a point with my partner where if either of us feel just that like immediate drain, it's like, have either of us eaten? Like, we do little check-ins just to make sure, like, have we had food? Have we had water? Have we had basic sustenance? Is that why we're maybe crashing? Chaos, I don't know if that's good for you. Like, I understand not eating a full meal just before going to bed because that, like, really messes with digestion, but just going to bed hungry? I don't think that's ideal. Because then wouldn't you just wake up ravenous? dear. Oh my gosh, that was a really loud crack. My spine is very clicky lately. Okay, well... that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I'm following. But also, it's probably not a good mode to be in if it doesn't need to be in that mode. Look, you know your situation better than I do at this moment. But I would encourage maybe trying to find patterns or easy meals or the like that just gives you more freedom to pace out your calorie intake. Hi, Bernie. I hope you're doing well. Why are you both doing this? Why are you both doing this? Oh, chaos, I fully feel that. If I am in a zone, I will just completely ignore every bodily function. It has happened where like my partner will come into my office to break up the day because it's like, oh, we have to go do something, or hey, I'm about to go out, do you want anything? And it's in that frame that I'm like, oh god, I have bodily functions, and then it's like I have to get up, I have to get water, I have to get food, like the whole shebang. Yeah. You know, Faye, I believe that every single one of us is trying our very best. That's for certain. I'm concerned. Why do you all keep going to bed hungry? Yeah, okay, now stress being a hunger suppressant I am very familiar with. It's also not good. At that point, I have had to literally develop using timers to make sure that I get food. If I am at work, even if it's stressful, I've gotten to a point where it's like, I do not care who you are or what this is. If my lunch break timer has gone off, I am going to get food, because if I do not eat now, I will not eat. And I have a coworker who does this too. They will just not leave for lunch, and then they are like, oh, I'll step away and have a sandwich, and then they're back in 5 minutes, and I'm like, no, oh my god, you need to take them like the hour away. You need to eat food, you need to digest, you need to be away from the work. Yeah, I feel that. I really, really feel that. Both of you are concerning me. Do I have to order Uber Eats for you both? Because like I will do it. I don't know how it's gonna work with the Australian money thing, but like I have a VPN. I can make myself be in America for a moment. I think I've got some commission money left in my PayPal. You both sound just like my cat, where it is just, she wake up, she scream for food, she look at her food bowl, she doesn't eat it, she goes back to bed. And it's like, what was all this hullabaloo about? You literally made a whole scene about getting your breakfast this morning. And then she's like, no, I just wanted it to be in the bowl, I'm good. And then she'll leave. Okay, like if it is not over what's the word for it? If it's not presumptuous, I may just do a touch base with you guys and let you know that if we're hanging out, you can eat food too. Like, that's okay. I will not stop being your friend. You can have food. You guys are on such a different sleep schedule to what my daily is. Oh, did you and Moa argued about it? I'm not shocked by that. That sounds like something you guys would argue about. You know, Bernie, it's going to extend to you too. Oh my god, Moa didn't eat before stream? You guys had like... Was Moa on for the whole 8? I think he was, right? From what you described? Ah, yeah, basically anytime I'm locked in for streaming, especially if it's with time zone differences, I will specifically either meal prep or I will coordinate with my partner for food to arrive at a certain time, or I will have like an easy meal where I can step out, put something in the oven, and I know in 30 minutes I'll have food, and then I can scorf that down and then keep going. Okay, well, I'm happy to hear that there was some food consumption. We'll work on making sure everyone gets some food consumption then, because I mean, if it's the difference between like going to bed hungry and just eating something during stream 3 hours earlier, I'd rather you do that. Yeah, not everything can be eaten instantly. You gotta give yourself like, I like to give myself 15 minutes minimum. At the risk of being too cavalier about the subject, Chaos, was it good soup? I assume since it was soup that you ate, that it was good soup. It was good soup. Good to hear. Oh, with lunch breaks? Yeah. I've now gotten to a point where I take my laptop to work and I will usually eat within the, like I said, I've now stretched it out where I will give myself 15 to 20 minutes to eat, because it is not good for the body to just inhale food. And so I'll eat over 15-20 minutes, usually watching a video or something. And the watching the video thing isn't the whole like, be alone with your thoughts. No, I can. It's that it helps me time out my consumption. It's a trick. It's a nice little neat trick, like the body doubling work countdowns on these streams. It's a neat little trick, a secret tricky trick for me. And then I'll usually spend the last half hour of lunch break working on scripts or something like that. That's an interesting relationship to have with food, Bernie. I think the older I've gotten, the more I've gotten to... I'm trying to feel value neutral about food, if that makes sense. It's not something I earn. It's also not something I punish myself with. It's food. You need food for basic energy consumption. That is that. I'm trying to be more like neutral, because I think for me that's just a healthier place to be in with that kind of thing. Interesting to hear it be called a hindrance. I can understand the frustration of daily upkeep is annoying. Like, of course, I'll do daily showers because that's just good for general upkeep. Doesn't mean it's not annoying. Just like drinking water. Of course I'll do it for daily upkeep. But drinking the cups and cups and cups that they say that I'm supposed to in a day, goddamn, it's annoying. But now I have water bottles that are the right size, so I can trick myself into drinking enough water. I have a very cool and normal brain, so I have to do cool and normal things like having systems and tricks for everything. Well, all told, I will be wrapping this up because my own bedtime alarm has gone off and I do have work tomorrow. Okay, but like weirdly, Bernie, same mood. I did not like having breakfast as a teen because it felt annoying because why eat breakfast when I could sleep in the morning? I really empathize with that. I still don't really eat breakfast. I'm still a late morning / early lunch kind of person instead. Or I'll do a snack in the morning to get me through to like a 1 p.m. lunch. That's how I operate these days. Basically, ever since I was a teen, I don't do breakfast. Unless it's like a special occasion and I'm doing like, you know, eggs and bacon and that sort of stuff. I'm trying to work yogurt in because it's good for you or something. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But again, something kind of small, snackish. And listen, chaos, whatever works, right? I also have like specifically sized and styled water bottles to encourage me to drink. The water bottle that's at my home office is entirely different to the one I have at work. I cannot explain the logic to it, but I just need them to be different designs for them to work for me. I have a little like, what is this? Like a Stanley Cup knockoff, I guess? Whereas the one at work, I can see like the, it's 11 a.m. You should have drunk up to this much. And that helps me actually like drink more throughout the day at work, which is more important to me than drinking enough while I am at home. Straight up chaos. That's why basically every water bottle I have is a thermos, so that I can put cold water at the start of the day and it stays that way because it's so crisp, it's so refreshing, it's so nice. I can drink like room temperature water, and frankly when I'm recording for a long period of time I do, just because it's better for the throat. But if we're talking about like how to encourage me to keep drinking water through the day, cold water. I have a fear of falling asleep in the shower, Bernie, because like I have this anxiety that I'm gonna die like a turkey, which isn't true. There's this myth going around that like chickens and turkeys and stuff will just like look up at the sky and they'll drown themselves. No, I'm pretty sure it's because of an actual like condition that causes them to do that. Like it's not a normal or natural thing for them to do. It's actually quite abnormal, and there's usually something wrong if they do start doing that behavior. But like, it's an irrational fear I've had ever since I was a little kid, that if like I fell asleep in the shower, I would just like mouth open up at the sky and I would just drown. Which again isn't how it works, but like kid logic, it's irrational. Needless to say, I am going to wrap this up. I do need to wrap this up. I love chatting with you guys and I will happily sit here and keep doing this, but I must away. I do have to get to sleep and I do have work tomorrow. I hope you both take care of yourselves. Faye, thank you so much for stopping by. Chaos, the fuck do you mean? No, hold on. I can't. No. I can't get it. I can't get into this right now. I can't. I cannot get into this right now. We will cover this another time, but thank you all so much for stopping by. This has been such a joy. I hope you all take care of yourselves. Get food if you need. Get water if you need. Take any meds if you need to. And be kind to yourself. This was fucking rad. I'm so happy to have had another episode finished up. So I will catch you guys another time. Thank you, Faye. I like these just chatting ones. These are nice and chill. Okay, well. Okay. Okay. Well, Y'all be kind to yourselves, and I will catch you on the flip. Bye bye.